Hey guys, this is Death. Welcome to AutoCraft. Today's AutoCraft episode is going to be quite interesting. Once again, we're going to be working over in the super chunk because I want to get this project closer to finished. So last time we prepared 3 different areas that would hold farms at some point in the future, and one of these areas is going to be filled up in today's episode. So up here on our storage room, I'm looking at the items we've already handled. So we've handled potatoes, we've handled carrots, and we've handled cactus. A logical next course would be to do sugarcane, but I'm going to skip this for now because I want to handle a farm that can do 2 items, a melon and pumpkin farm. These farms are relatively simple to set up, and I'm going to show you how simple they are in this time lapse. So after 3 hours, we got this melon pumpkin farm finished, and as you can see, it is quite simple. Okay, maybe it's not. Maybe we should explain this a little bit. So, the basic premise of this farm is we detect whenever the plant, the melon or pumpkin plant in this case, is updated. This plant will be updated whenever it grows, or whenever a melon or pumpkin is spawned in any of these blocks. When that happens, the plant will attach itself to the melon or pumpkin, sending a signal through this system, breaking the melon or pumpkin. Now, as you can see, this thing isn't finished. We need to deal with items, and there's a few places where the crops aren't actually growing, so we're going to have to go through this system and bone meal some different crops. On top of that, we need to get the hopper minecarts in each of these systems down here. Now, we need to do this for all of the layers, because I haven't done that yet, and on top of that, we need to deal with our mob problem. Okay, so I've spent the past hour or so setting up the minecarts and making sure all the water streams and stuff are ready to go. I've also spawn-proofed this area because since we have these villager crop farms below, there's a chance that golems can spawn and mess up our minecarts here, so we're spawn-proofed against that. Now all we need to do is deal with all of those excess items. Now before we do that, we need to sort our sorting system because there's one major flaw. So we're in free cam right now, I'm in the AFK spot, just so that we can get some items coming up through this system. As you can see right now, we only have one filter for each item type, and last episode we discovered that this is nowhere near enough. We basically need to expand our item filter, so all we're going to do is we're just going to triple the amount of filters we have for each individual item, and that should be more than enough to handle all of the farms in this system. Then it will just be a simple case of hooking up the item stream to our storage system. So after getting the water stream in place that connects the farm up to our item storage system, I decided to do a 1-hour AFK session. And boy, was it successful. As you can see, we've got a full chest of melons and a full chest of pumpkins. And if you look up here, we've almost got a full storage silo of melons. The pumpkin one, I think we've got maybe 3 or 4 double chests worth. Now, you can see that even with our expanded filters, it isn't quite enough for this farm. There's too many melon slices coming through, but it can handle everything else. Since we filled up the storage slice in only 1 hour, I'm not really concerned about handling the extra melons coming through the system. But if we press tab, I've got the server TPS and MSPT. This basically determines how lag a server is. MSPT is fluctuating a bit. It's still within acceptable parameters, but it could have a negative effect on server performance. That is because if we look in our F3 screen right here, and we go to our entity list, we've got about 900 entities in the chunks around me right now. That's all these items going through the storage system. We can handle this by putting in an overflow, in this case being a pocket of lava. And there we go, our overflow system is in place dealing with all of our excess items, and if we look at our F3 screen, the numbers have already dropped and they'll continue to drop as less items are in this system. Not bad. Now, since we've been dealing with items, there is one other thing I'd like to deal with. These status indicators. They don't currently work because there's no redstone hooking them up, and I want to be able to see how many items we have without going into the back. So let's get that redstone system set up. Alright, so as you can see, we have our status indicators all up and running. Well, the ones that actually have items in them are running. I haven't done the redstone for the ones that I'm currently using. Before we look at the redstone, there is one thing I'd like to address, and it's the fact that we've made these status indicators smaller than the previous ones. That's due to the redstone systems in the back. And another thing I'd like to mention is, in the pumpkin silo, you can see this light up here is lit and the other ones aren't. That's because of the way I'm taking the redstone signal out of the back, meaning that whenever there's items going through the system, the top light will be lit up. So I'm in free cam right now just so that we can get a look at the redstone system right here, and it is fairly simple. So for the items that we only have one filter for, because not every item requires the 3 filters, this is the redstone system we're using. So basically what we end up doing is we end up taking a redstone output from either the hopper or the chest. In this case we're pulling the signal through a block and then into a comparator. This will then allow us to work out how many items are in each of the chests. The redstone signal then goes straight into the wall where it lights up the redstone lamps. Up here the redstone is a bit different because it starts to encroach on the other redstone lines for the other silos. So we need to basically mess about with our redstone line a little bit in order to get it to work properly. And yeah, so I basically did that for the potatoes, the carrots and the cactus, along with the slime farm stuff over here. All in all, I'm quite impressed with this. The fact that we've already filled 3 silos is quite good. No, not 3, 4, nearly a 5th one. Obviously the pumpkins are a bit slow to come in, but give another hour or so and this thing will be filled as well. Now I really wished I'd set up shulker loaders for each of these, because let's just say that having all of these items filled is great, but there's still going to be so much stuff flowing through the system I can't turn it off. So yeah, that's something we just need to worry about. So yeah, even though I haven't done the redstone for the other silos, my plan is basically to get the redstone in place as we do each of the farms. That will allow me to track our progress very easily. So now that all that's done, I'm quite confident in saying that our Melon Pumpkin Farm project is finished, meaning we can seal this up just like the cactus farm. And just like that, the farm is now officially sealed and finished. While I was putting on that glass wall, I was giving these other farm areas a bit of thought. You see, up until now I haven't really had a plan for what farms are going in here. I don't really get around to planning it until like the day before the video goes out. So yeah, I think this time we're going to do a little bit of planning ahead. So if we just head up to the storage system up here, and we go to this wall, because I want to get all the farms on this wall built first. We've got the sugarcane stuff, we have the kelp, and we have the bamboo. Now, each of these farms is quite bulky. And there's 3 farms here, but we only have 2 farm areas. Now, the sugarcane stuff, it won't produce as many items as the other farms, but the way this farm will work is it'll probably make use of flying machines. So whenever we do harvest this stuff, there'll be lots of items coming through at one time. Even with that being the case, it will still be less items than the kelp and the bamboo farm. So I think it's fair to say one of these slots is going to be used for the sugarcane, so that leaves the final slot, and that will be between the bamboo and the kelp. Now, to be honest, I don't really use these items all that much. I'll use kelp when I'm doing like water elevators and stuff for items, but bamboo, the only time I'd really use this would be for, say, scaffolding, which, to be honest, I just use dirt for that. So what I might do is I might split one of these sections in 2 and have both of those farms in there, keeping them relatively small, and then having a flying machine at the bottom of them to come and break everything as we need. Let me know what you think about that in the comments, because I think that would kill 2 of these projects with 1 stone, as they say. After that's done, that then means we can actually start work on the surface of this area, because I'd actually like to get this done before the release of 1.18, because that's going to have a whole lot of extra things added when that stuff comes out. So I've just realised something. I've had this chest of deep slate sitting here since the last episode when we cleared out the chests that were sitting down there. Now you see, I don't have a use for deep slate, but there's other members of the server that do. I believe Rustic needs cobbled deep slate. So what we're going to do is we're going to convert all this into cobbled deep slate, which is going to take a while, and then we're going to go and drop it off at his area. Oh boy, yeah, I'm probably going to have to go and repair my pickaxe as well. Okay, so we got a shulker full of cobbled deep slits. Let's just pop on down here, and he won't find it in that, so let's just leave this right here for him. Now, I was flying around the shopping district, and I actually found that someone has abandoned a shulker full of materials right here. I don't know who this belongs to. If any of the AutoCraft members are watching, it's the shulker's over here, come and pick it up. Also, I believe this Trick or Treat shop still has some, what do you call them, things, some loot, but do I want to sacrifice some more diamonds? Yes, I do. Okay, so let's do another 4 of these and place a payment in here. Let's see what loot we've got. So starting things off, we have a bundle of sticks. We have, oh, okay, a treat. Please claim this from boss directly. Okay, I'm going to do that. I probably won't see the treat until next episode. We have, oh, don't mind if I do, these are some valuables. So we've got some copper, some gold, some emerald and some iron. And last but not least, a block of diamonds. So we've got a bit of a return on investment right there. Well, boss, thank you for that. I'll be putting all these to good use. And unfortunately I missed this thing in the last episode, but someone pranked the bee and changed it into some sort of moth bee hybrid thing. Yeah, I don't know what this is meant to be. I think this was Zen though, but it was quite funny. In fact, it happened while we were recording in the shopping district last time. I was just that oblivious I didn't notice. And there we have it, that's all we've got for this episode. Make sure you tune back next time, because we're going to be finishing off the central area of the industrial district, the super chunk, by building a few automated farms. And who knows, maybe we'll get up to some shenanigans in our next episode. See you then. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that, why don't you leave a like and subscribe and hit the bell icon. And hey, why don't you check out this video?